In this video I used the trusted Cessna 172 to practice some VFR joins at Shoreham. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, if you enjoy my content, why not consider giving a small donation through the coffee link in the description to enable me to fund future content. Thank you very much. Okay, so this video is all about various forms of visual flight rules joins to airfields in the UK. We are flying from Shoreham. This is one of the exercises you have to do if you do the VATSim UK VPPL, and very interesting it is too. Shoreham is the main training base for the VPPL, and it's on the south coast of the UK. It has a non-standard pattern in that this pattern is 1100 feet rather than 1000, and that is because of high ground here. It also has a slight kink in the, so we fly generally off 20 or 02. Flying off 20, there is a requirement to turn right by 10 degrees at 300 feet as you cross the railway line for noise abatement for these houses here. So the circuit looks a bit like that, and this is about 600 feet, but this is 1100. So that's the circuit. I mean, that's not obviously it's supposed to be rectangular. I haven't quite managed the rectangular, but you can see the point. You've got this sort of kink at the start, which makes it a bit more challenging because you've got to turn by more than 90 degrees to get onto the crosswind leg. Yeah. Now this exercise covers three types of join. So it covers the overhead join, the crosswind join, and the base join. Okay, and I'm doing the whole exercise. If we look at the flight plan, we're going to go to each of the 4 visual reporting points for Shoreham. We're going to start at Brighton. So we fly out from Brighton and then back, do an overhead join, and then we fly out to Littlehampton, come back, do a crosswind join, then we fly out to Lewes Interchange, which is here, and we come back and we do a left base join, and then we fly out to Washington, which is up here, and we come back and do a right base join. So that's essentially what we're doing. If we just have a quick talk about how the different joins work, I'll do it on a separate piece of paper. So if you think about the runway being like that, and you've got the circuit, and we'll just have a sort of fairly standard circuit. Okay, let's say this is 20 and that's 02. With an overhead join, you're coming in at circuit height plus 1000 feet as standard. And you would come into the overhead at, in this case, 2100 feet, and then depending upon the direction of the circuit, you're either going to keep the airfield on your left for a left-hand circuit, keep the runway on your left for a left-hand circuit, or on the right for a right-hand circuit. So you're going to come in this case it's a left-hand circuit, so you're going to come in here. Let's say you come from this direction. You would come here and you would circle all of the thresholds of all of the runways until you pass the threshold of the runway that you're interested in, i.e. 20 in this case. And once you get past that threshold with it on your left, then you know you're on the dead side. So once you're on the dead side, you're going to circle round, descending as you go, and you're going to pass crosswind with the intention of arriving at this point here at circuit height, 1100 feet in our case, but normally 1000 feet. Okay, and then you do a circuit and land. Crosswind landing, you're going to come in from at the threshold of the reciprocal to the runway you're landing on, and you're going to come in here and you're going to execute a join at 1000 feet or 1100 feet at the start of the downwind leg, fly in and land. Left base join would be getting to here for 1000 feet and then coming in and landing, and then a right base join would be coming to here. Okay, right base, left base. Okay, so that's what we're exercising. So essentially what we're doing is we're flying out in that direction, coming back doing an overhead join, flying out in that direction, coming back doing a crosswind join, and then flying off in that direction, coming back and doing a left base join, and then flying off in that direction and doing a right base join. And it's more difficult than you think, and requires some precision. And I think perfect is a word I wouldn't use to describe the flight, but I did enjoy doing it, found it quite challenging, and I think I managed in most cases to keep at the right height and in the right place. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. So, Shoreham traffic, Golf Tango Delta Alpha, taxiing for grass parking via Kilo for our local flight at off 20 Shoreham. Okay, so we're left downtown out, down to Brighton Marina. Then we'll come in back for a overhead join for a left-hand circuit, which is straightforward enough. Okay. Short traffic, Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is crossing 3-1 at Kilo 4. Sure. It's a complicated bit of ground space around here because you've got 3-4, then you've got 2-4. Shoreham traffic, Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha crossing 2-4 threshold at Kilo 3. Sure. Now, I think that we currently have an issue with LittleNavMap because it's not picking up the wind. Because that's not 0, is it? It's probably only 5. Okay. Temperature's in the green now. Vacuum's in the green. Okay. Okay, brakes on. And we're going to use the Excel spreadsheet, I think, because the one that comes with the plane isn't really detailed enough for the purpose. Okay, let's pull this across. Okay, so we are at the power check. So we're positioned into wind. Parking brake is on. Just turn off. Head tracking for a sec. Yeah, parking brake is on. I've lost my spreadsheet now. That's annoying. Okay. Yes, all temperature suppressors are in the green. Yes, they are. Max check full on both. So we are on both at the moment. Makes you set to full rich. Yes, it is. No, hang on. Tick. Throttle set to 1800. Yep. Mag check drop. No more than 150. And then no more than 50 between them. That's 100. Returns. That's about 60, so that's alright. Returns. Sections between. Yep, sections okay. Engine instruments now meter check. So we will just do a DI alignment. Heading bug is set to 20. The altimeter is 1016, which is correct. Yeah. Check the annunciator panel. Yep. Oh, we have nothing except no nav, which is right because we're not using nav. Okay, throttle set to idle should be between 5 and 700, and it is. Throttle set to 1200. There we go. Radios and avionics are set. Yes, they are. 122.8. Autopilot is off. Check. Not even sure it's got. Right, so let's just set that. Okay. Trim set. Flaps is required. So flaps are up. Yes, they are. Okay, so we're going to go for strobe on now, and we're going to go for alt on the transponder. Tick, tick. So we are departing Shoreham on 20. There'll be a 10 degree turn to the right over the railway lines at about 300 feet for noise abatement, and we are going to turn left after departure, and we're going to go to Brighton Marina, and then we're going to come back and do an overhead join, and then we're going to do a sequence of joins from each of the 4 visual reporting points. We're going to be at 2,500 feet whilst transiting. The circuit height is 1,100 feet, so we want to be at 2,100 feet for the overhead joins. There are threats. There is high ground to the north and the sea to the south. The runway is dry. We've got birds because it's early, and yeah, I think that's it. So let's put that out of the way. Let's get head tracking back on again, because we won't be faffing about with that in a minute, do we? Right, there we are. Head tracking is on. We've got full and free movement. Let's just check that from the outside. Bang, 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 bang. Yep, good. Okay, I think we are good to go. In the event of an engine failure, while we're on the runway, we will pull the throttle, turn off the ignition and land back on the runway. If we're airborne, we'll land back on the runway unless we have the runway left, in which case we will be looking 10 degrees either way for a landing spot, probably on the beach or in the surf. Okay, we're going to do a final check. So mixture is for rich. Yep, mixture is rich. And feeder heat is not required. Mags are on both. Yes. Instruments. So the instruments are all set. Temperatures and pressures are in the green. Fuel selection valve is on both. Harnesses, hatches, controls for free movement. We have already just checked that. And we've done the takeoff briefing, and then we're going to do clearances next. So short traffic of Papa Tango Delta Alpha is lining up to 0 for a departure to the east, Shoreham. ATPL, so the approach is clear, the runway is clear. Temperatures and pressures are in the green. The lights are on. We're good to go. Okay, so we have a slight wind from the right, so we're going to have the yoke set to the right as we start accelerating. Okay, full power. TCPs are in the green, airspeed is alive. Centre line, centre line, centre line, 55, and up we go. 62. Maintaining our line. Okay, and 10 degrees to the south, to the west. Okay, 74 now, we're over 300 feet. We're at 600 feet, we're going to turn. East, head down the coast to Brighton. Settle into a bit of a cruise climb, about 80. You know, this is a bit horrible, the weather. I might just fix the weather a bit. Let's make the visibility better, I think. That's fine. Maybe can't see what I'm doing. Yep, we're aiming for 2,500 feet. Okay, power attitude trim. There's the marina there, look. Brighton is fabulous in the all big scenery. You just see the pier there before we get to the marina. Okay, let's turn to the right then. $3,000's fine. Shoreham traffic, Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is overhead Brighton. Will be joining in the overhead for a touch and go on 20 left hand circuit. Sure. Right, we want to be, so that's a power, attitude, trim. We want to be at 1,000, so 2,100 feet overhead the airfield. And because we're going for a left-hand downwind join for 20, we want to be keeping the numbers for 20 on our left-hand side, and then when we cross the numbers, we'll be on the dead side, and then we can descend down to circuit height. You see the runway there, look. Putting 200 RPM. Show traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha in the overhead. I'll be able to find a way to match the colours, the green colour, which is quite frustrating really. Okay. Show traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is sending the dead side to 0 left hand. Sure. Okay, so no one on the runway. Can't see anyone. Go traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is crosswind 20. Have a quick look out to the right, make sure there's no one you can see in the circuit. We're at circuit height, so let's Get the power back to 2200 again, and power attitude trim. Getting blown a little bit. Let's just go that way a tad. Okay, let's drop into the downwind now. We're a bit high. That's it. Okay, we're going the wrong way, aren't we? Okay, Shoreham traffic, go Papa Tango Delta Alpha downwind, touch and go, Shoreham. Okay, power off, collapse down. Well, high. We've got a while to go yet, so. Shoreham traffic, final Golf Papa Delta Alpha is finally touch and go, Shoreham. Okay. And the members. Okay, P's are in the green. We didn't do our bump switch checks, but never mind. We really need to get into the habit of doing those. Okay, show traffic, Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha departing to the west shore. Laps are up. These are in the green. We're good. I'm going to remove that for the moment because it's getting in the way. Littlehampton just over there. Okay, that'll do. Okay, fuel sufficient, yep. Radios are on the correct frequency. Direction indicator is fine. Altimeter is unchanged. Your traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is overhead Littlehampton. We'll be joining Crosswind 20 left hand for a touch and go. Okay. That's yeah, field up there, isn't it? Show traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha Worthington. There's the airfield, look. Yeah, traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha Crosswind 20 for left hand circuit, sure. Okay, brakes. Undercarriage is fixed, mixture is rich. The propeller is fixed. Fuel is sufficient, yes. Lights are on. Instruments, just check the DI, the altimeter is set correctly. Flat on circuit direction now. Carpet we don't need. And hatches and harnesses are fine. Okay, let's get into the downwind. Jump traffic off, Papa Tango Delta Alpha is downwind 20 left hand disregard. Okay, there's the motorway. Or whatever, say 27. Okay. Laps. That's better this time. We'll still be turning the 600 though. Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha, Short traffic, Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha, Farmers, Dutch again, sure. Into the air, and temperatures and pressures are over green. And we're good. And what's next? Lewes Intersection. Oh, sorry. Shoreham traffic, Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha, first turn left on course. Sure. Okay, so fuel sufficient, radios are correct, engines in the green, uh, DI pointing in the right direction, altimeter is 1016, it is correct. That's the American Express Stadium down there. It's the home of Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club, and just to the west of the stadium you can see Brighton University. Okay, that looks like Lewes Interchange to me. It's there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, you turn over there then.
And then Washington is the last one. And then we'll do right base 020 from Washington. What's the METAR saying? Means like variable QX 1016. Five miles to run now. Probably want to start losing a bit of height. Short traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha 5 miles to the east, will be joining left base 20 for touch again. Sure. There's the clear area, some of the airfields there. There's the road we crossed, look. Look at the turn base. We're in reserve now. not finishing this now. Shoreham, traffic off Papa Tango Delta Alpha is left base 30, push and go. Oh! You're on traffic off Papa Tango Delta Alpha is final touch and go. Fine. Sure. Short traffic off Papa Tango Delta Alpha, turning right across. Don't know what I was aiming at, but I was aiming at the wrong thing, whatever it was. Okay, fuel is just about sufficient, radios are correct, engines, temperature pressures in the green, DI is aligned, altimeter is 1016, which is correct. Washington, just that. A bit bumpy, has to be said. Go traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha turning over Washington. Will be joining right base 20 for a full stop by Washington. Okay. Okay. Attitude, power, attitude, trim. Get down to level and good. Can't quite see the airfield from here because of the hill, can you? It's this hill here is the problem. Okay, I think that's close enough to right base. Shoreham traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha right base 20 to land. Yeah. all the flap down. Got the speed we need. A bit high. Traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is short final to land 20 short. Short Traffic Golf Papa Tango Delta Alpha is vacated, taxiing to parking, Sean. So there you have it, overhead joins, crosswind joins and left and right base joins to Shoreham in the UK. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.